Hello there and welcome back. The video today is going to be twofold. First off, I'm going to do a little review of my son's CO2 powered air rifle. It's an SMK XS78 CO2 air rifle. So let's have a quick look at it, and then what we're going to do after we've looked at it is we're going to camouflage it. My lad saw how I'd done my shotgun and he says, "I like that, would you do that to my air rifle?" So we're going to do that today. Although I filmed the camouflaging of my shotgun to a certain extent, I'm going to go in a little bit more detail on how I do it, or should I say one of the ways that I do it. So let's have a quick look at the gun before we do any camouflaging work on it. This is the SMK XS78 in Co2. I bought this last year from the Northern Shooting Show. I think it was about £160 I think it was in total. But for that you get the scope, which we'll look at in a minute, obviously the gun, you've also got a gun slip, some pellets and a bit of cleaning kit as well. The silencer on it, I forgot what type of silencer it is, but you don't get that with it. I had to buy that separate. So here we are. So let's have a quick closer look at it. I suppose as stocks go, it's nice for a cheap gun. Makes no difference because we're going to be camouflaging it shortly anyway. It's a bolt action rifle, single shot this one. I think you can buy kits for them to make them into multi-shot, but this one is a standard single shot. Safety is here in front of the trigger guard. I'm not a big fan of this, to be perfectly honest. I don't like where it's situated, and when I'm using this gun to keep it safe, I have what I call bolt open safe. It won't fire with the bolt open. It has a free floating barrel, which helps in accuracy. Not really accuracy tested this very much, to be fair. Maybe that's something I can do in a future video. The filler cap there unscrews and you put in there two 12-gram CO2 capsules back to back. The scope that came with the gun is a Nico Sterling 39 by 50, and it has a parallax ring, which is useful. The usual eye focus piece on the eye bell, and the adjustment turrets are covered. They're not the uncovered ones. Makes no difference really to me. So what we should do is, what I'm going to do with this one is, I'm not going to go to the whole extreme of taking it right apart and masking up every individual piece, etc., taking the scope off and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that with this one. I'm going to pretty much spray as it is. Of course I will mask up the bits that I don't want to be sprayed, but I'm going to kind of spray as it is. So the first job, I think we're going to have to rough up the surface of the wood, etc., just to make sure the paint adheres a little bit better. So without further ado, let's get on with that. So there we are. I've only masked up the parts that I don't want to be painted. Obviously the glass, don't want that painted. I like to keep the trigger black. I've missed a bit there, but I'll sort that in a minute. And of course the inside of the bolt, I need to lift that slightly just so I can get underneath with the paint. Okay, so now that's done, I think what we need to do now is get on with roughing up the wood. Doesn't need a massive amount of roughing. Okay, so the first layer is going to be khaki. A nice covering, but not too much to make it runny. I think for what we want, that's just about enough on one side. So we'll let that dry. And once that's dried, we'll turn it over and we'll do the other.
A few moments later.
Little bit of dust on there. Most of it's just overspray from on the other side, but okay, we'll give it a blast. Okay, hopefully that's enough because I've no paint, no khaki paint left. Obviously the actual finish will depend pretty much on which colour you use first, which colour you put on afterwards, etc. I'm using the method that I like the best to produce the colour that I like the best. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, of course, but it's what I like, so. Okay, the next stage. The thing with camouflage painting a gun, or anything for that matter, is that it doesn't, number one, it doesn't always go how you planned it to. So sometimes it's trial and error. And secondly, it's very rare you get both sides of the gun exactly the same, so. But you can only ever see one side of the gun at any one time, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Okay, so here we go with the second stage. Wish me luck. If you notice, I'm doing one way, one the other, one way, one the other, so it's like a crisscross. That's quite a garish green, I'm sure you'll agree. But it won't be in a minute. Okay, so the next one. Okay, and a little bit more there, I think. Okay, so there's 3 colours so far. Now, at the moment it looks fairly average, boring, if you want to call it that. The magic, at least I think it's magic, comes with the next stage. So the next stage is putting the pattern on, which I'm using conifer. It gives a rather nice pattern. Now if it's going to go wrong, this is where it will go wrong. So what I've got is a piece of fern, as you can see, across this light green. Now what I'm going to do is alternate the colours now. So over the light green I'm going to very lightly spray with the dark green. It looks almost brown on camera, but it's actually dark green. So now I need to blast this over very lightly with the dark green. I'll keep a hold of that so it doesn't move as much, and let's hope for the best. There we go. Might have to do that bit again. I think it's because I moved it. I actually moved it. So I'll try again, but I'll go the other way this time. In fact, I'll use that bit there like that. And for that I'll use the light green. That's more like it. You can see that. That's lovely. That's just what I'm looking for. Okay, so we go then onto the next stripe. In fact, you could do something over here, but I'll leave that for now. And I'll go on to the next brown bit. Okay, so we'll try the other part. So that's gone that way, so if we lay this one this way, I don't want too thick of a foliage if I can help it. Excellent. That's really nice. And then the final part on the end, Well, it's not the final part, but the final part on the stock at least. Let's see what we can get there. Again, we'll go the opposite direction to we went last time. Let's try a different pattern this time. Kind of. I don't want something that's too... You don't want too much going on, I don't think. It's probably a good way of putting it. So I need a better piece than that, I think. So let's try that. That's a bit too much going on there, I think. I don't have any more. Oh, that's not too bad. That ain't too bad. We'll try that there. So again, the light green. You need to keep it as flat as possible to the actual wood. There we go. We'll go that way. I think that way. Let's make sure we've got the right colour paint. Oh, that's looking good. And finally, again, that way. I mean, you don't have to do it like that, but I kind of like the way it looks when you do that. So, there you go, very lightly sprayed. Okay, let's go back to the butt end and see if we can do something a bit better with that. Not quite right. Okay, let's have a go with this again, see if we can get it a little bit better. That's a little bit better. I think I may have to spray that green again, I think. We'll let it dry and we'll try it again, that part. Now, we can leave it like this, or we can then go to the garish green bits in the middle, which I think is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to give those a waft over. Spread them out a little bit. I don't want too much going on. Okay, we'll try that. There we are. Okay, so we'll give this last piece a try again. There's always one bit that don't want to play. That's better, I suppose. Maybe a touch more in a different direction. There we are. The other side. Okay, we'll let that dry before we do the magic. Not quite. And then excellent. So there we have it, almost finished. All it needs now is obviously the masking tape taken off after a blast over with some clear mat just to protect everything and seal it in. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Why don't you give it a go yourself? It's really easy and you get good results. Thank you.